I would say stay involved. I think my parents did a great job of staying involved with, my career, my process. There's a lot of people that, are in for it themselves. So definitely, protect your kids, try to, point them in that right direction where, they're going to be, taken care of. I think there's so many different avenues and ways to, get to their goal, which is, everybody's WNBA, NBA, college, whatever. There's so many different ways, so many different opportunities that, if they stick with, the right people, I think they'll, make that no matter what, route they're going down. So you don't have to, do the same route as, everybody else. Look how many different guys make it to the NBA, whether it's to the G League, whether it's through overseas, whether, it's through high school, prep school, so just finding good people to, have the best interest for your kids.
What's doing, everybody? I'm Alec Elise. Thank you for watching First Class Fatherhood. Today's guest on the podcast is NBA star Michael Carter-Williams. Michael Carter-Williams currently is the point guard for the Orlando Magic. He's got one child and one on the way. I'm excited to have him on the podcast today, so get down there, smack the subscribe button, tap that like, and let's jump into it right now with Michael Carter-Williams on First Class Fatherhood. Joining me now, First Class Father, Michael Carter-Williams. Welcome to First Class Fatherhood.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, let's start it right like this. How many kids do you have? How old?
I have one kid right now. She's turning 3 July 28th, and I got another one on the way. And the due date's July 30th, actually, a boy. So I got a girl now, 3-year-old girl now, and a boy on the way.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, what did you guys do any kind of like gender reveal to find out what you were having?
No, we're not big on gender reveals. I don't knock them, just just not huge on them. But I don't know, maybe for our third kid we might.
It seemed like it was a fun thing, and then people just took it to extreme limits and kind of ruined the whole thing,
Yeah, because I felt like, I guess it really didn't matter that much our first kid, but when we had a girl, I was actually hoping for a girl for our first kid, and then for our second one, I really wanted a boy. So like we did a gender reveal, and I was like, I didn't want to have it be a girl, and then but it's
very cool. Yeah, we got 4 kids, so we only found out for 3 of them. Our third child, we waited till the end to find out, which either way, it's a great experience. So if you could hear, Michael, please just take a minute to hit my listeners with a little bit about your background and what you do.
Yes. Yeah, so like I said, I'm Michael Carter-Williams. I play for the Orlando Magic. I've been in the NBA for about 8 years. I went to Syracuse for college, so that's what I do.
Yeah, very cool. And so take us at the beginning of your fatherhood journeys about 3 years ago here. How did becoming a father kind of change your perspective on life?
It changed me a lot, actually. It kind of gave me a sense of, a sense of time management. I think, when I go, whatever I'm doing now, I kind of do it with a purpose. Whether I'm going to the gym or, I'm going to, do some charity event or activity, I'm really focused on, what I'm doing, because I know I got other responsibilities at home. And it also changed me in the way to, every decision I make is, not only about me, but it's about, my daughter, my family as well.
Yeah, very well said, Michael. And then obviously, I know last year was a different set of circumstances with the bubble and the corona and the whole bit. But what are some of the challenges of playing in the NBA while being a dad?
Oh, it's hard because we travel all the time. That's definitely the worst part is, leaving, your kids or, just having to be away from them. For me, that's the hardest thing. It does bring a lot of joy. Obviously, my daughter loves going to the games. She's spoiled. So, we're very fortunate that, I do play and we're able to live in, nice areas and, everything that the NBA comes with. But, it's tough at times, definitely leaving her.
Yeah, very cool. And then what was it like? I mean, obviously you said your next child's due here in a little while at the end of July. What has it been like during COVID here to have to take you? Have you been allowed to go to all your appointments, is it any different this time around than it was the first time around?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm still able to go to her appointments, but there's only one person that's allowed. The delivery process is also a little bit different. There's only, I think, 2 people allowed, now. So it's it definitely is a little bit different. The rules are, much more strict, and it's, but it is what it is.
You'll be allowed in the delivery room now, of course, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'll be allowed in the delivery room. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And what would you consider, Michael, to be the top values that you hope to instill in your kids growing up?
Number one, just be a good person. I think that goes a long way. Just being kind and nice to people. I think that can take you a lot of places in life, and it's a simple thing that everybody can do to make the world as a whole a better place. And I hope to just instill that, be a good person, be kind, and try to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, great stuff. And I know you said you were hoping for a girl there right out of the gate. What do you enjoy most about being a girl dad?
Um, I mean, you get all the love, of course. You come home, it's like you never had a bad day, and she's definitely a girl dad, and I just knew that that connection there would be special, and it's just it's just great. Like I said, there's never a bad day. You could have the worst performance, your worst day of your life, and you come home, it's like a dog, and they're always going to love you no matter what. So that's the best part about being a dad.
Yeah, very cool. And I had my 3 boys first, then I got my girl on the final try there. If not, we'd have probably 5 by now. But we got her on the 4th try. It's a totally different ball game for me with her. And one of the things I struggle with, and I'm still working on, is my disciplining with her. It's a lot different than the way I handle my discipline with my boys. And she's 6, the baby, the only girl. So far, I know she's young yet. What type of disciplinarian are you so far as a dad here? Are you a spanker, timeout guy? You hitting it with some philosophy? How are you working that out so far?
Yeah, and I struggle the same, with the same thing. It's almost like I don't know how to discipline her. And so the lady, she's the disciplinarian. So she's always, yelling at her, putting her in timeouts, and we actually had to have a little discussion about me cracking down on the whip a little bit to, start being a little bit more disciplined, with her, and start, putting her in timeouts and things like that. I don't know why. It just doesn't come to me. I just don't get mad. I'm always like trying to explain why, that's wrong instead of, getting angry. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat over here too. My wife's constantly saying I got to get it. And I'm working. It's a work in progress too. It's definitely harder for me to say no to her, than it is to my boys. So I'm working on that as well. Now, what about bedtime here, Michael? What does your bedtime routine look like? Are you a storyteller? Are you singing lullabies? How does your bedtime routine look at your house?
Yeah, usually, for a while it was just, get in the bed, read a story and go to sleep. But now the story time is, me telling stories. She loves, listening to me tell different made up stories I combined with, the Three Little Pigs and Goldilocks and all, the Big Bad Wolf, and like all one story. So, it's kind of cool. It's gotten to the point where she tells, her own story, a little bit. It's the same story every night, but yeah. So we're definitely readers and storytellers.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And let me turn it over to what you do here. I know you were recruited heavily in high school. I think you committed in like your sophomore or junior year of high school to Syracuse. What kind of advice do you have, for the parents out there that have kids that are starting to get the attention from the colleges and are going through this experience? I know it could be a little overwhelming. So what kind of advice do you have for the parents that have these kids that are ready to go next level?
I would say stay involved. I think my parents did a great job of staying involved with, my career, my process. There's a lot of people that, are in for it themselves. So definitely, protect your kids, try to, point them in that right direction where, they're going to be, taken care of. I think there's so many different avenues and ways to, get to their goal, which is, everybody's a WNBA, NBA, college, whatever. There's so many different ways, so many different opportunities that, if they stick with, the right people, I think they'll, make that no matter what, route they're going down. So you don't have to, do the same route as, everybody else. Look how many different guys make it to the NBA, whether it's to the G League, whether it's through overseas, whether, it's through high school, prep school, so just finding good people to, have the best interest for your kids.
Yeah, well said. I know it seems to be so many different opportunities, and there's so many more availabilities to showcase your talents today. I know just by being able to send in a video and stuff like that, there's a whole different way to get exposure today. So it's pretty cool to see. And on the technology part of it, another one of the things that's become more difficult as COVID hit and my kids were all forced online during school. I know she's young yet for that, but how do you kind of manage the screens? Is she swiping screens already? How do you kind of handle the technology?
Yeah, man, the iPad is is definitely a big thing in my house. She loves it. She uses it. It's tough for me. I kind of go back and forth because obviously I don't want her, sticking her face in the iPad for hours on hours. So I mean, we get outside, we do things, but she definitely has her fair share on her iPad. But it's crazy because nowadays if you watch the shows with your kids, just to see what it's about or whatever, my daughter's learned so much, just from the shows that are out now, which is great. The other day, not even the other day, about like probably about like 6, 7 months ago. My daughter's only 2 now, so about 6, 7 months ago, we were walking down the street and there was, construction's working, and I was like, "Look, it's a tractor," and she's like, "No, Dad, it's an excavator," and I'm like, "Sorry," like, my bad. But no, it's just like, they teach a bunch in different shows she watches, so I don't really, mind her on, the iPad too much.
Yeah, it's become more and more challenging. I mean, I even find myself, not living up to what I'm asking them to do. Sometimes I'm using the technology a lot more than I would like to be, so I'm guilty as charged with it as well. What was it like for you? I know you were drafted in the first round of the NBA draft there. What was it like for you to share that moment with your parents, with your family?
It was amazing. That moment, is a moment I'll never forget. It's hard to describe the feeling. It was a goal that I was working towards, my whole life, and there's a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of mind games that I had to go through just to get there, and so it was a special moment for me and my family for sure.
Yeah, very cool. Now, has becoming a dad, has that put any kind of has that changed your perspective as far as how many years you plan on playing in the NBA, and have you considered anything beyond your NBA career?
No, I don't think it put in perspective on, how long I want to play. I think that's always been pretty steady. I want to play as long as, I can. And just because I love the game, and, post career, I'm definitely going to do something. I don't know what that is yet. There's a lot of different avenues that, I'm even, seeking out now, and just, kind of putting, the feel out for. But yeah, it's definitely still up in the air. I don't know, where I'm going to be or what mind state I'm going to be in, come that time.
Yeah, and then what about Michael too? I'm curious because I know you've been on several different teams. How does that work out for you now, especially like with your daughter? Like, you have like a home base, or do you set up shop in the different cities? How does that kind of work out?
Yeah, I just bought a house. I bought a house in Orlando. It's a our home base now. I got another year left on my contract. It's somewhere that I could definitely see myself. Um, being, whether it's if I come back to Orlando, whether I keep the house, whether I sell it. I bought it at a time where real estate was pretty good, the market was good, so it was a good investment as well. And I got 2 kids on the way. It's kind of good to have a place to call home and settle in.
Yeah, great stuff. All right, last thing I want to hit you here, Michael. I love to ask all the dads that I get on the podcast, what type of advice do you have for that new dad or for that about to be father who's out there listening?
Um, being a new dad is actually rough. Yeah, I mean, everybody who's a dad knows the first like 4 months is, you kind of can't do anything. So I would say find things to do in the first 4 months, even though the baby's really not going to need you that much. You know, it's so fun being a dad. It's probably going to be the best thing that you've ever experienced. So just see, obviously everybody knows it. It's kind of redundant to teach your kids to do the right things and be good people, but I guess I would say just lead them, and they're the future, so do
Yeah,
right.
very well said. I love the message. This has been a lot of fun for me. I got to say, Michael Carter Williams, you're a first class father all the way, and thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time here on First Class Fatherhood.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.